Ah, come on, why?
Recognise this? It's called burnout, and it happens to more of us than you think. This week, I've teamed up with the always positive and insightful mindset maestro that is Andrew Ellis to talk about how to avoid burnout and our 10 favourite productivity and mindset tips to find ease and effectiveness in your day-to-day grind so it's not a grind. Don't say I don't look after you. Hi everyone, welcome back to Better Creating. If you are new here though, I'm Simon and this channel is all about simplifying creative life. So I make videos about productivity, intentional living, being a creative, all of that good stuff. So in today's do more and do it now culture, I think it's easier than you think to overcommit, become overwhelmed and hit burnout mode. It's a real thing, working harder rather than smarter, and as a result, just feeling exhausted, unmotivated, uninspired, and lost in a foggy mess. Let me know if you recognise that in the comments below. I definitely do. Well, it's all good. Andrew and I have got your back. There's 5 tips right here in this video and then 5 more over on Andrew's channel. So make sure to go and check out that. I've linked it below. And of course, subscribe to Andrew. He's a good guy. Let's do this, Andrew.
Simon, thank you for having me on the channel, and what a fantastic introduction. I focus primarily on habit building, mindset work, and how to push your comfort zone to become the best version of yourself. We're here today to help you to do just that. And to start off, it isn't actually about your work, but your morning and evening routines. Have you ever went to bed and have been thinking about all the stresses of your next day, or even the things that have happened in the past? Or you've woken up in the morning and you don't even have a second to think about what you want to do in that day because it's focused on what everyone else is getting from you? This is precisely why you need a morning and an evening routine. Your evening routines may be more important than your morning routines because they set you up for the next day of success. Did you ever wonder why Steve Jobs or Mark Zuckerberg wore the same clothes days in and days out? Because they wanted to use more brain power on the things that actually matter to them rather than stupid and silly decisions like what clothes you're going to wear. Now I know it seems a little bit mundane, but if you can make all simple decisions the night before, when you get up, everything can be focused on what's actually going to make your day successful. Making the time for you and what you actually need to get done, rather than what should I eat for breakfast? What do I need to wear today? What do I actually want to get done to make this a successful morning? The best way that I've made evening routines successful is by finalising my priority list. What is going to make my next day the most successful that I can make it? How can I achieve everything that I actually want to achieve? And by doing this, all the decisions that I needed for the next day have already been completed. This is what leads me on to the morning routine. As I mentioned before, we're always in a rush for other people, things for others and not ourselves. If we wake up in the morning and we are completely stressed with everything that we're needing to do, how do you believe the rest of the day is going to go? Your mornings, even if it's for 5 minutes, should be focused on yourself. How do you make the mornings set up for you? Take time for you, a meditation, writing in a diary, eating a good breakfast, anything that just gives you time for yourself. By doing this, you lower your stress levels and make sure that you know the day is about you and not always about everyone else. It is time for giving energy to other people, but you've got to ensure that you are your own priority, as that's what will make you the most successful in your life and least likely to burn out over the long run.
Love that, Andrew. Of course, like many of us, I've been messing around with morning routines. You have to find what's right for you and not just copy other people's. Now, on that note, let's talk about choosing where you place your energy. Who, not how, and making space for downtime. Okay, this is something that I've been thinking about a lot recently, guys. There has been, for a long time, a culture, certainly in Western society at least, that working harder and being busier is better. But we forget that there is a difference between working endlessly and struggling and working efficiently and effectively. It's also easier, I think, like doing this kind of thing, being a creator, working on YouTube, to get wrapped up in trying to solve or do everything ourselves. A mantra that I share with young actors at drama school when I'm working there as a director is that everything is easier when you're at ease. And I think it's easy to forget this, to think that good productive progress is defined by the struggle that it took to achieve it. So your downtime is really important. Making proper space for downtime to give yourself self-care and reflection means you reach your goals more effectively. So planning your downtime and scheduling it as carefully as you schedule your work is really important. So to that end, one of the best ways I've found to prevent burnout as well as increase your effectiveness is really simple. Pay people to do the jobs that you don't want to do. Dan Sutherland's book, Who Not How, goes even further than this. He talks about how investing in the right who can simplify, expedite, and most importantly, improve the quality of the output that you get because you've got someone else doing it where it's their only focus. This is also a much better use of energy than trying to learn how to do absolutely everything yourself. Sometimes I think we can mindlessly commit ourselves to this before we realise it, and it also means that you're leveraging your own time for the right things, and by carefully investing in others, you're also strengthening your own commitment to the idea that you're pursuing. You know, you put money and time into someone else, it holds you to account to do the thing with them more effectively. Check out Dan's book in the link in the description. You can go check it out. I think it's brilliant.
Our fears often control us, and especially when it comes to something that actually excites us in our life, imposter syndrome usually rises up the ranks of the things that fear us the most when we're trying to move forward with our lives. Our fears are what stop us from truly moving forward. I'm going to use Tim Ferriss's help here in this video. I mean, not actually on video, but you get my point. Our worst case scenario, played out in real time, is often a 3 or 4 on the scale of fear, of 1 being, this is nothing, and 10 being, oh my God, this is terrifying. Seriously, think about it. Will your life be over if you try to pursue the dreams and the desires that you have? Or if you do it, will it not just be a short 3 or 4 on the scale for a potential 9 or 10 of lifelong happiness if you're to actually become the person you've always wanted to be? If you pursued what you really wanted in life, and I mean what you really wanted deep down, not what other people expect of you, would you not take that jump every single time for a 9 or 10 on the happiness scale with a mere 3 or 4 on the uncomfortable scale right from the get-go? The spotlight effect, a common term used by psychologists to determine that we actually think people care more and pay more attention to us than they actually do. We care so much about what other people think, which can actually lead to burnout because we're trying to please everyone with what they do. The reality of the situation, no one really gives a shit what you're doing because they have their own worries, fears, anxieties, and more. We all have a life to live. We all have our own stresses. So if we want to become the person we want to be, we have to face our fears head on, just like anyone else who's done it in the past. What this will also do is help lower your imposter syndrome. You're going to be able to understand that your fears aren't in control anymore. And in fact, you are. And your decisions are what determine where you get to, not what other people think. It's not your imposter syndrome that will control what you think. It's not about your fears that will control what you think. It's about you. End scene.
Okay, next up, a quick idea that bears repeating on this channel because it's literally transformed my life, people. The quality of life and work. It's either hell yeah or no. Derek Shivers. Using the power of no to help us focus our time and energy is one of the most impactful and rewarding activities we can be doing. It means that we can strip back the amount of focuses and activities we allow into our lives, and the result is pretty huge. If we get this right, you'll be doing less, enjoying it more, progressing faster, and achieving more in your life and career as a result. I mean, it's ridiculous. I've always believed that the catalyst to great productive workflows is joy. This is something that Ali Abdaal famously talks about a lot on his own channel. If we enjoy what we're doing, the experience and the reward that it brings, everything is easier and we will have more capacity for creativity and inspiration as well. So go check out Ali Abdaal talking about that. And of course, take a read of Derek Shivers' amazing book, Hell Yeah or No. You'll be far more intentional with what you commit your energy to, and as a result, you'll probably have more of it.
Simon, I absolutely love that tip, and it really is about either hell yes or it's a complete straight no. And I've been working on this myself for the future. And it leads me on to understanding your stressors and lowering your input. In the times where you want to be productive, there's often so many things that can distract us and actually cause a lot of stress in our life. Checking our email, social media, YouTube videos, and everything else that can go on over the internet. We don't usually consciously click onto this anymore because we've been doing it for so long. But checking email for 2 minutes to see if that person's replied can create more stress in your life and actually completely lower the productivity and the work that you're trying to complete. These are all things that cause more stress in our life. So when they occur, we look at them, which causes them more stress, and over the long run, our brain connects the work that we're trying to do with the stressors in our life. David Meyer, a psychologist at the University of Michigan, found that even the smallest of changes can take away 40% of your productive time when these things occur. If this is the case and we're trying to do any work There's no wonder so many of us burn out consistently time and time again when we have every social media, our email, and everything else we can ever imagine at the blink of an eye. When you're wanting to truly work and get into a sort of deep work routine, something that I recommend doing for at least 2 hours out of your day, make sure that you're using your environment to your advantage. Get the Flora app to be able to time yourself on the productive time that you want. Use the Pomodoro technique. Have your phone upside down or completely away from you so that those distractions don't take you away from the work that needs to be done and is actually going to push you forward. The less stress you have when you're truly trying to get the productive work done, the better for you and the less likely you're going to burn out in the long run. You could even go as simple as using the Gary Keller method. And a sticky note on your PC which writes, "Until my one thing is done, everything else is a distraction."
Now, everyone, make sure you go over to his channel and check out our other video along with the rest of his content. Give him a subscribe over there, we'd much appreciate it. It would be amazing if you found this valuable to hit that like button, subscribe here if you're not already. It goes a really long way to keep me doing what I'm doing. It would be wicked if you left some comments. Now go get something done. Just don't overdo it.